How's it going, Tamers? Marcus Bronzeman. I'm here to talk to you today about something new I'm going to try here. We're going to call it artifacts. So in this little piece, I'll be going over the real-world equivalents to the anime Digivices, which, I want to start off with something simple, something with one that I have close to my heart, my original D3, as well as its successor, the D3 Color Revolution. So first, let's get into where all of it started. Now, the D3 that I have is the American or international version of the D3 Digivice. Now, as a young tamer, that was literally given to me by my family as a gift for school, or for doing stuff at school. Just kid stuff. From what I remember, you could choose your starter, which was like Vmon, Armadillomon, Patamon, Hawkmon, and Gatomon, and then go from there. You play through the quest mode and start gathering Digi-Eggs and fighting bosses, and the whole thing worked as a pedometer, so you're actually doing like exercise. Now, that was all well and good until I found out what the Japanese version could do. Now, to understand that, we gotta understand what D3 stands for. That's Digital Detect and Discover, or the Japanese goes, it's Digimon Detect and Discover, which is still similar, but, slightly different. Now, the Japanese D3 actually lived up more to the potential of what it was like in the show. But before we get into that, let's cover what the Japanese D3 could do. So, to understand it, let's go over the 3Ds of the D3. Digital, or Digimon. Basically, you would go through the same thing. You had a map that you had to go through and play the quest mode. The more you played the quest mode, the more your Digimon leveled up. And the more and so on and so on and so on. You gained more functions, you gained more stuff. Not to mention, the Japanese version had a day-night cycle. So in the morning, you'd be fighting vaccines. The mid-afternoon, you'd be fighting data types. And at night, you would be fighting virus types. Because the clock function actually meant something on this one. We start to get into detect. That's where everything kinda shifts from what I know about the American D3s, and now I understand the Japanese ones a little bit, because detect was amazing. The Japanese D3s made me jealous because of this one very, very important function that I thought was amazing. The detect function actually utilized the antenna and had it search through electromagnetic waves as for Digimon and Digi-Eggs, and you could actually look for other tamers with it. Now, the Japanese D3, I understand we have some, FCC regulations that probably would have, not allowed that to happen, but it would have been really cool. Because look, let me bring up a scenario. Little Timmy is by himself playing with his D3. Afraid to show anybody that he's into Digimon, because so many other kids at that time were into the other Mon catching game. You get my drift? Now, if somebody were to also have a D3 and seek out Little Timmy with his D3 by using their D3, boom! Instant friendship right there, no joke. Like, that would have been amazing. I mean, lifelong friends, that would have been amazing, but I can also see the negative side of this, but I'm just gonna stick to the positives for the moment, because, God, that would have been cool if we actually had that kind of function. And now, finally, we go over Discover. So the Discover section would literally be you taking that antenna, and at that time, because, the old Stone Age that I grew up in, television was still over the airwaves. Radio was still over the airwaves. You would take the antenna with your D3, buy another antenna, and search the electromagnetic wave coming off of those, and search for Digi-Eggs and or other Digimon to battle. Now that was just insane. I would have enjoyed this function so much more if we actually had that on our international D3s. The Japanese D3 literally takes our international ones, rider kicks it through like 15 walls, and then flex dances on top of it. In all, I am enjoying my new D3 that I have, the Color Revolution, which is just this amazing D3. But yeah, no, it literally has lights and sounds and is really fun to use. And honestly, it still, they got rid of the antenna function, but they kind of subverted it in a way that was more entertaining. Anyway, Tamers, that's all I have on the D3. What did you know about it beforehand? Did you know about the antenna function? Let me know in the comments what you want to see next. I'll do more of an investigative write-up and let you know my thoughts. Anyway, Tamers, till next time, let the light of Digivolution guide you, and happy taming.